The Origins of Life, Waves of Enlightenment, Part 9. So here we've got a really good wave. It's only small, but you can see how its shape is, right? It's, I don't know if it's too bright, again with my phone, but you can see how it curve there in wave. And see, like, it's really difficult for a wave to, like, maintain to be straight all the time. You know what I mean? There's so many collisions with other directions of how the energy bounces through the water. It depends on ground underneath and stuff like. I have got some examples of straight waves. But in a lot of cases, a lot of them kind of like lose momentum or gain momentum, and it depends how it works and stuff like. But from any change, it always kind of creates this S shape. So when we look at it, you see like our shrimp's body. That'd be like the tail at shrimp. You know what I mean? And that'd be like the body of it, and it's got like that angle there. Right? So like when a bird when it tucks its tail down, and that's that same angle which we see on shrimps and other stuff like that. So I mean it as an example of what this shape shows you and stuff like. I mean, there's loads of things, everything that I've mentioned in previous episodes and series and stuff like. But this, I mean, I do feel like I lose a bit of colour, like detail on it and stuff like that. When I bring it closer there, you can see a bit more and stuff like. But it's all this as well, though. Or it's mainly this, really. You're just seeing the shape of it, like I said. It almost looks worm-like, in a way. So we see it again there, don't we? We were showing you this one, but for illustrating this point with like the wave and all that kind of stuff, you got the hump, you've got the lines that follow it all, and all these kind of things. That's just like one single wave. You see, that's like where the tail of it is. That's where it'd bend if it wants to curve, because it can move its tail side to side, can it, and stuff. So then we've got that, which again we've seen it before, and we're going up at the same point. So like with the wave, you can see its shape. There's lots of things about this shape. This is what like the parrot's eye will like when the eye's there, and it's got like the tear shape that goes around it and stuff. So you can compare that to a lot of things, and like the Egyptian eye. The human eye, so it has this tail, like at the backside of your eye. So like your nose a bit of this side, and then that'll be your eye, and all these kind of things. There's an abundance of things which it fits with. But that's going on to another thing. What we're looking at now is the wave, like we've done before and stuff like. So we've got all these lines that come off it. So like the shape of the wave, all the momentum which goes with it and stuff. All the lines here as well. And then the more complex it is, the smaller it is. So like the head or all that type of stuff. So we've got these waves. Again, like the single wave. And then all these lines kind of following it, what I mean, where it's left these trails and stuff. There's loads of examples of it and stuff. Like we've seen it underwater and all that type of thing. So then we look at the skeleton, and we can see the wave with the spine, and then all this shape. So the rib cage makes like the opening of the wave, and then all the lines, the drag lines, for where the wave's moving, whichever way it's going, and then that's your shore. So where the fin comes out and splashes out, and it splashes out and it comes back in. And the same for the bottom fin, and tail splashes out and comes back in. so it can move. um, but it's more to do with being thin, because that water, which kind of gets onto the shore, and it's really thin. So it's like the water experiences that thinness, and then it's reproduced it up there. Whereas this, below this line, it has the body of the water. So the body of the water is part of that fish. So you got the roll, and then all the lines, which is same as that and that, but you can't see the lines. You see there's some lines there. It's only a small wave in it, but it's got some lines, like rib lines. So again, you see the arch at wave, the roll at wave. So that's where your ribs are again, and then your body of water, where the water splashes out and comes back. And then like the complexity, how it gets smaller, like it gets to this point here, that's like similar to an anteater, how its nose gets smaller towards the end. I've got a picture and I'll show it in the bonus video. It's just like my follow-up video. But our continuation. So again, you've seen it again. It's just a single wave, is this though? So you got this one wave. It's in detail, but you can see it all, can't you? All this shape as well. That line is normally, that fits where the where the eye fits. Do you know, like there, like the peacock feather is where the eye would be, and that's the tail of it. So it's the same. So the parrot eye or whatever else and stuff. So when we see it there, its eyes in the same place. So then there's the stem of the peacock feather, or whatever else it is. If it were a parrot, it's got spiky hair, like a parrot often does. Structure and shape. And also, the water droplet. So when it splashes water, and it's got like this bead of water at the end of it. So it's the same as a snail, how it creates that shape with its eyes. So this is like for vision, you know what I mean? But I mean, it kind of creates light, doesn't it? So its eyes can see. But it's another example of it. It's used in the same method. So that's how it's got this like fishing rod kind of structure. And there's a kink in it. I'll go into that in bonus video. Like I said, a bonus video is more than a bonus video because there's a lot of information in it. It might be more than one video, but we'll see though. So, but we see how that water, how it flows, how it moves, and how it's used that information for its design. It knows it can take that weight. You know what I mean? That's no problem for it. Same for its back. Provided it doesn't go to extremities and stuff like. But that's where where the limits of the design are. So we've got the stingray. We just I can't remember if I showed you this one. I might have planned to show you it. I guess it was. I can't remember. But you got the lines going both ways. It looks like the crisscross pattern. It looks like fabric. So, like we showed the picture at the shore with, like, it showed you a grid going across it, and it was showing you movement at waves in that kind of sense, and where pressure were and stuff. And that's the same thing. I mean, it's like each wave, like you say that the sunlight's shining here, and then all the heat is kind of creating the ripples, basically. And because it moves. which is that's what your movement is, like the eye shape. So your eye's here, and then your tail is here. So the movement, that's the sun. So obviously, yeah, we've got this roll of a wave and stuff like. This is above, so we're seeing two sides, but waves go both ways, don't they? I mean, it's in the entire body of a fish, and they're splashing out to the shore. It's difficult to define where that edge is. But another thing I wanted to cover on that is we see it at that shape, and then you can see the information for like how birds' wings work. So when a bird, like, imagine it's like a bird flying towards you and it's flapping its wings. You can see like the full extremity of its wings going up to its wings going down in that kind of way, you know. So then it probably have its pelvis and feet, all that kind of thing. Its tail, its bird tail, feathers. So from that one wave, you know. Well, actually, this part in this is a different aspect, because this is a secondary aspect to it, which is what we're going on to. See, now we see this wave here. We've got this wave behind it. There's a bit more power in this wave. This wave looks like it's going to catch up to this one. It's going to overlap it. So this is something which happens often, very often. There's always a wave coming a different way, and you know, not always. Like I say, you can have straight waves and stuff like, but you know, it happens that often anyway. So like I said, you see that there as well. It's got that shrimp shape to it. And also it's part of this as well, so it's gonna overlap this one. So you got another example here. You got waves catching up to a wave and joining onto it, and it's almost like a hand when you look at it in one way. It reminds me of like a dog's leg, all these kind of things. Now the dog's leg is much more of a thing because of like the hip section. So when we've got our body, a mammal's body, we've got like the body of it, and then we've got this section. So you can imagine one leg and then another leg. And so then that's how, or one aspect of walking, you know what I mean? Now you can move two different legs in two different ways, because like, you know, a reflection, it needs to be a reflection, doesn't it? But that'd explain why you can have that alternate aspect towards it. But so yeah, we've got this, how it all connects here. It's quite an important thing. It's the double wave aspect. So we're seeing it again here, two waves coming together. It's a bit more of an angle, is that one there? I prefer the previous one. So now we can like compare it to a dog, a greyhound. We've got all as wave. So we've got all opening at wave, the arch at wave, another wave coming off, and then this part, because it's like see how the hip bones, how they're like collided onto the wave, and then it's kind of splashing past. So now it's that wave's hit it. Now it's curled and moving that way. So it's a wave. You know, each different leg is doing the same thing. So our arm, our wing. Got another dog. So you see, like it's the wave shapes in there and stuff like. It's a little bit more difficult to see. You can see some curve to them, and stuff like. But I see these are more liney, which it still makes sense. It's kind of like we mentioned, the lives and the lines and the drag, all that kind of stuff after wave. Then that's what that is. So again, how the hips that join on. So it's caught onto wave, and then look what's happened to tail of wave, how it hangs down. A cheetah. So you've got your classic wave shape. You roll at wave and drag lines. And then now it's collided into this one. It looks like it's done it with something more speed, you know what I mean? How it's kind of like, and then it's collided this way. It's even broken it up, you know? Like on that snail picture, and the snail picture, it showed you the waves like colliding in that kind of way. So it's like, you know, it's another example of it. It wouldn't this series. Yes, and a cat. House cat. Again, the roll of a wave, the arch, and how it connects here. So again, let's see how because it makes it look like its back's broke. It's like the waves broke, and that's what's connected to this. So it's like both of the waves. It must have enjoyed the feeling and the sensation of that wave colliding with the other wave. And maybe it's like there's so much information which is going off when that happens. And that's why it likes it, you know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, there's a lot of information there. I don't know. There's got to be like the psychic consciousness of the ocean, you know, and he must be able to like actually be fully conscious, you know, in terms of like how it can think. And I mean, there's no brain, but it's kind of like the heart conscious rather than the brain, kind of how the mind gets in the way of things. And you look at the water, it doesn't have the mind to prevent it from doing things, it just does, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that kind of way. So its mind would be like sat there, kind of like just observing more than anything else. So yeah, a rat, and you got the wave. It's quite a long tail, and the rib cage being the turn of a wave and stuff. And again, how it's collided in the back, little waves, and the wave over the top, and then the reflection being smaller or misshaped because it's the angle of light from the, you know, however the oceans decided to view it. So then, like the and that dog which had like the long lines on its back, you were seeing it here. It's kind of like with that shell with the lines. Here we can see how it's relatable, like how the water drags away, you know. So I'll go back to other pictures. I mean, look how high they are, you know. But you got your lines, haven't you? So I am as well. So, like for all of it, you can see like your wave pattern, and so that's how it kind of makes it make sense, you know. And obviously, how it rolls and all of these kind of things. Hip bone, but it must have been like a little bit of a wave because this is a really big wave. So other waves to compete with it, then it's only that much and stuff like. I imagine muscles must be used with that. Maybe it's aided for swimming and all these kind of things. I don't know. Scientists accuse it as being like a evidence for like evolution, whereas like really all animals seem to have it. A lot of animals, you know what I mean, which maybe seemingly not to need. I can't think actually of examples. I'm sure I've seen some, but and also like in terms of like reproduction, they could be used for that as well. Again, you know, like in terms of using muscles, and I don't know how they reproduce and stuff like, but I don't see it as a cause for evolution, especially when, you know, we see the connection to the ocean for one thing, but it's also connecting it to the plants as well. So like, you know, to be fully formed from a plant rather than actually evolving, it seems to be much more of a thing that kind of works for me, you know, from what I'm finding and stuff. So an elephant. So we can see like that difference. So like the rib cage, the spines at the top, how it relates to wave, and again here, you know, just like on the previous, when we can see how it's, you know, got that shape to it and stuff. And compared to the dog's got that second part, you know. I mean, this doesn't have the second pair of legs, so it's got one hump rather than like the dog, which like, you know, it's got its head, ignore the head, the shoulders and then the back hips and stuff kind of thing. It's still got hips, but so again, how it connects. And they're all big waves, aren't they, with legs. So we mentioned it with this on an earlier one. Now that's like a wave. So now we can see how it connects. So like the entire hip section, or it's a reflection, isn't it, from that point. So it's like one wave and then another wave. So we have got two legs and stuff, and it's a reflection, but at the same time, it's a second wave from that one, which is the body, and the rest of the body from that way, like your ribs and such. And again for your head and your neck, it's kind of like, I suppose it's like three waves in a way and stuff. But you can see that cup shape of how it cups. It says something that waves do before it breaks. You know, it depends on what's behind, and you know what happens to the wave and how it forms and how it breaks up and stuff like. But quite often you get this cupping shape. So this one more so we're looking at the shape of the body. You've got the roll, you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. Like you get your wave which crashes into that wave and it splashes over and joins onto it. It becomes part of that wave. So it's like, you know, the energy of it, all that energy got rolling forward. It's now got that come onto it as well. So you can see how crocodile is quite similar to whale. And birds as well. So that's another example. It's just one wave, but then it's got all these two legs down here kind of thing. But not legs, but it's another wave which is attached to it. So they are in the same, it's the same design, but, you know, fashioned a little differently for its own purpose and such. That's it for them. So, speaking of cupping, we've got the donkeys known for having good hearing, I think. So, like looking at their ears and relating it to waves, so it curls, you know, and inside as well and stuff like. They're quite furry as well, so that's like splashing going off. So bats' ears, how they cup and it catches sound. They're quite thin as well, aren't they? You know, so pick up vibration as well, or whatever and stuff like. The same with wings. Have a curl, a roundedness. So sound has to travel down, you know. So yeah, I mean, you know, because of how good we are at hearing, and then it is quite relevant. You know, it shows you how sensitive the ocean is.